complete shit, excuse my language, by her, but I still would, give her the opportunity to speak upon herself. So if she wants to come back in here, she is more than welcome to, so that you guys can finish your conversation. Um, Also, there is talk now that you allowed abuse to happen in the house and you did not turn it in. So I think that needs to be clarified because Allie's turning herself into the victim now, whether she was or not. But that needs to be more clarified because now she is. I'm trying, Emma. I'm trying so hard. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or do anything. I'm just trying to make sure everyone can talk and it can be fair and people can share their opinions and views. But basically, she was going to, or she said that she's was abused and that you did not report it. So I
And
think that
like,
needs to be clarified more.
which I don't think that will ever be smoothed over with her, because I have spoke to her personally about that. Maybe I should have called the police at that time, but there's more to that story than I don't really want to volunteer that information on TikTok.
Right.
But
Which I completely
and
understand.
I told her as an adult, I acknowledged that I probably, if it came down to it, I probably should have called the police. But there's more to that story than you guys know. And there's nothing I can do about it now. I can't go back and call the police now. So that is a mistake as a parent that I made. There was not abuse with that situation.
Right.
And again, all over again, yes, I probably would have called the police.
Can I say something?
If you guys want to also let Allie know on her end if she's not already streaming this, she's more than welcome to come back in here. But go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, she's saying that me, the ugly stepfather guy, was abusive towards her, and there was one instance where she insisted that what I was doing to her was abuse, and she was gonna call the police. So I said, well, let's call the police, and so we did. And long story short, when the police officer was informed and evaluated the situation, they told her, little girl, you better listen to your dad and do what he tells you to do, or you'll get another whipping or whatever.
And there was a time, I want to say too, that we called DCFS, which is the Department of Children and Family Services, for her if she wanted to talk to them about anything that she felt was wrong going on here. We offered that she could call the police anytime if she wanted to. So
Can you guys? I have one question for the chat. Sorry. If I go into a sub only live, can you guys or can if I mod this person, can they go into the sub only live still right here with me?
what does that mean? Sub
No,
only?
I think he's talking to everybody else.
Oh,
I thought that they could.
she's screaming abuse of my opinions.
I was gonna go sub because it's getting all the comments are getting a little out of hand and I just wanted it to be fair. But 1 second, okay, all right, Allie's in here now. So sorry, but guys, go ahead.
I was gonna let them
Continue
finish.
what you guys were saying, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, we
You
were
guys are
letting you guys
talking.
finish.
Hey, Allie, remember that time when the cops were called over the abuse allegations and they told you that you better listen to your dad?
Remember the time that you would call the cops on me for simply having an attitude? Very
because
rarely were they called for the actual abuse. Also, you would downplay the abuse time and time again, so of course.
What abuse? Can I have specifics of that,
The
please?
Yeah.
physical and mental abuse, I dealt with him for years.
Like what? What? Like what?
What
I
do you
want to hear specifics on that.
Okay, well, I already mentioned the whole kicking thing, which you already
It
managed
wasn't
to
a
deny
kick. It
that.
was more of
Okay.
a shove,
Okay.
more a nudge. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The many times that he would just yell at me for every single thing that I would say or do.
No.
Okay.
Nope. I
Okay.
mean, there were times.
Why,
Yeah.
why do you
absolutely.
want details if you're just gonna deny it all?
It's like
I
this, though,
was
Allie.
treated
Like I said,
differently. I was treated differently than all the other siblings.
because you acted differently.
How did I act differently?
You were a different child. Children are not.
Yeah, obviously I was a different child. Every child
Yes.
is different.
So
Yes,
you
correct.
required different disciplining and different rules and different things because you acted
I
different.
remember one situation in particular. There was a mess on the floor. I don't remember what kind of mess, some sort of mess that I'm assuming that I made or something, and I was told to clean it up, right? I remember I was on my knees cleaning up that mess, okay, picking it up with my hands, whatever the mess was. I don't, again, remember what it was. Well, he wanted me to stand up and clean it up. So he grabbed me by my arm, yanked me halfway across the room to stand me up so that I could stand up and clean the mess instead of being on my knees cleaning it up, the mess that was on the floor. Oh man, I don't even know why I almost brought this up.
The time when she would be off to school, or no, we would be off to work, and we had the cabinet locked up with padlock. So it was a form of neglect since she didn't have access to food.
Wow.
I mean, why is that funny? Can we explain? Can we dive a little deeper into that story or no?
Do you have an explanation for that story?
I don't even.
remember that completely.
Wow.
I mean,
I bet you the padlock is still on there to this day.
there might have been
Yeah, there might have been a time
a situation with that
where
where
you couldn't keep anything.
yeah, maybe
in the
there was a
house.
time that like things were like disappearing way quicker than they should or something like that. I don't remember that specifically, but that is a possibility of happening. I'm not going to say that it never happened, but it certainly wasn't keeping you from food
Neglect.
and neglect. For God's sakes, are you serious? You're accusing that now? That we
Locking
didn't
up
feed you?
food away from your child so that she
Oh
doesn't have
my
access to
gosh.
food for 8 hours out of the day.
And you didn't get to eat? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. I remember
Oh
so
my
many
gosh.
times. I remember
You-
so many times.
Unreal. So many times that you weren't able to eat food.
Correct. Yeah, y'all locked it away with a padlock. Like I said, I guarantee. Mom, you guys literally just made yourselves look like fools trying to stumble over your words just now. Oh, we
Really?
don't.
I'm not stumbling over it.
I don't know. I mean,
What
we
you
could
say?
put it like that's literally what you just sounded like.
There is no
literally
stumble.
what you just sounded like. I'm thinking,
Quite
okay,
honestly,
why
I think
would
it's
I lie?
ridiculous that you're even bringing this stuff up. You are 26 years old. Get over it.
Oh
So
my
Get
I
god.
over
think
it.
to get across to get off of to get onto a different subject, the only reason that I brought, had you come up here and wanted you to come up here was so that you could share your, thoughts and feelings and, how how you're feeling about everything essentially, because you haven't been able to do that. So I thought that it was only fair also that Allie was here too, because Allie's name was being spoken. So, I wanted her to be able to speak with you, and
Yeah,
talk
this
over.
we're
So I
not going
thought
to
it
be able to
was
sit here and have like a logical, you know. I have apologized to her as an adult that maybe I made some mistakes as a parent, just like any
Who
parent
doesn't?
does.
Yeah.
And if she can't get through those things and over those things, then of course, we're not going to have a normal, healthy relationship.
I mean,
So,
all we ever did was try to raise you
yes.
and anybody else that was a kid here
And we
to
did
be successful in life.
Yep.
And you know what? All the others are successful.
And nobody
And I
says
don't know what
claims
you call
abuse.
yourself, but
Now, Cherie, the oldest one of the whole clan, has what did she say? I can't remember. Tiffany reached out to her and asked her about it,
about what? I don't know. What you're talking
about like childhood stuff and abuse and that type of thing. But like I said, my husband comes from the old school stuff and the disciplining.
I don't remember the details.
Do you
do
think
realize
that
you
the
just
age?
said that, right?
Do you okay? Not having any food for the day, guaranteed. We never kept food from you, Allie. For God's
They're
sake.
locking up all the snacks.
My,
All the
all the
snacks.
snacks.
was it just the snacks that were locked up?
Thank you.
Were there food? Was
See?
there food available, or was it just the snacks that were locked up?
There really
The
wasn't
snacks.
food available.
Because whenever I was growing up, if it were past 11 p.m., that was the thing too, that we couldn't go down in the kitchen and get snacks, because we would sneak them up to our rooms, and so.
Yeah.
But
No,
just
that was not the
there
circumstances.
there was food available to us though,
You're
so I
saying
don't know
that
that
kept
situation.
food from you. It is the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
So there was
love
food
to find
available.
pictures
Let's
of
just
you
get that
at age.
cleared up.
You were never like an Ethiopian.
No,
Okay,
You're
so there
not.
was food available.
absolutely. Any kind
Of something. all
you
the
got to
time.
stop. You just got to stop.
How? So going back to the whole abuse thing, Allie, how old were you when that happened,
When the abuse started,
or whenever you said that one situation that was not reported, or that you said was not reported?
the essay,
Yeah.
I was approximately 14, 15 years old, approximately.
Okay, and so you told your mom, and then she.
I immediately, so this was by an 18 and 19-year-old.
Okay.
They were a couple. It was a guy and a girl. It happened in the Applebee's parking lot. Immediately after it had happened, they had driven me there. I played it cool, whatever. I immediately walked into my house where both my parents were sitting in the living room. I remember this like it was yesterday. I started crying and I explained to them what had happened.
Okay. And did you genuine question, did you did you go and report it yourself, or did you think about going and reporting
I
it
was
yourself?
threatened by my mother to not report it.
Threatened how?
You said you better not.
Never said that.
You actually did, but okay. Your memory seems. The
I'm still
next
trying to
day
find.
is when we went over to her mother's house, which she lived right across the street from us. Both of them were there. You and I had both went. The mother had called me a liar, of course, kicked us out of her house. And I asked you, can we report this to the cops to prevent it from happening to somebody else?
There
And
is
you
more to
told
this
me,
story.
hold on, and you told me that if it were anybody else, you would have reported it. But due to who they were and how close we were to them, because I was very, very close to them, I went to church with them all the time, was constantly invited to their family events. You know, that's usually when SA happens by family members or people you're very close to. Very rarely does it happen by strangers, by the way. And you said, due to who they are, we were not going to report it to the police.
There is more to this story that I'm
Tell
not
us,
going to
Mom.
discuss.
Then
I
please.
am not going to discuss this on
Why?
live.
You've discussed enough
I
already.
am not. Trust me, it's protecting you. I'm not going to say
I
a
doubt
word.
it is, Mom. I doubt it is.
It
What, you're going to
really
say
is, honestly.
experimentation again? You're going to say that I was experimentation like you did with Sarah when she also essayed me?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
We're not going to discuss this on TikTok Live.
of course.
Okay,
We'll
so
discuss everything
moving
else,
on from
though,
this
right?
subject, yeah, I know I said to come back to it, but now moving on officially from it, SA obviously is not okay whatsoever. It is
Absolutely not.
absolutely not okay. And any whether or not someone was actually essayed, that's not the objective here. That's not the question. The whole thing is I want to kind of get away from this subject. All I wanted in this live was basically for you to come on here, tell how you felt. Allie could come on here and tell how she felt if she wanted to, and I wanted to voice that I'm not constantly talking bad about you, Allie. I'm not constantly talking about you. It affected me mentally as well. What happened with us, and going back to that, it's happened. I found out that it's happened to so many more people, and that people were also mocked, and people were there. There's just been a multitude of things, and so with what was happening with that, I was having trouble coming to terms with it because of the way that we left our friendship, and I just kept seeing people, person after person after person after person, you know, handing out their hard earned money to you and all of these things, and then you constantly asking for more money, and then going saying you're going to go to the mall, and then going and doing all of these other things. And then when I gave you money that one time of whenever it was, and then you just went right ahead and put money on JoJo's books.
So, first of all, I want to make this clear about that. That money that came from you was never put on JoJo's books. Okay. You gave me $20 and I DoorDashed food to my apartment. Do you know how expensive it is to DoorDash food?
Yeah.
$20 or more. Okay. So, there's no way I would have even had extra money to even do that, first of all. Okay.
Okay.
So that money was
all
not.
the other things happening too, like my job being threatened.
Nobody
Doodles
has
coming in.
threatened your job, Garrett. I've done nothing but try to look out for you, even with when these people that you're now information, where you worked, what you did, and I texted you and said, do not share, do not tell people the type of doctor you are, don't tell people the area you live in. I did nothing but try to protect you. Me saying be careful is not a threat. I'm genuinely telling you to be careful because I have die-hard supporters, and I am not telling anybody to report you, nor am I reporting you myself. But I have die-hard supporters who are sickened by this situation. The fact that you have my abusers in your box supporting me or supporting you, you're supporting my abusers right now. Sorry. It's disgusting to so many people right now, okay?
I'm not
You are.
supporting
You're
anyone.
Yeah,
giving
your abusers.
you're
We are your
allowing
parents.
my abusers to have your platform with almost 800 people in here and to
the
share
ones
their
being
side of the
abused.
story.
So to
We're
That
share
is
their
what
side
you're
of the
allowing
story.
right now, and
Exactly.
it's disgusting. I am
this is not-
genuinely telling you, please hold on. I'm genuinely telling you to be careful because what is done on social media, most of the time, most every job that I have had to sign in a social media agreement of some type. Employers, pay attention to your social media. Okay, so if your employer comes across or somebody on the board, anything can happen. You body shamed me, Garrett, and you can deny that all you want. You called me a beluga whale, and I have that screen recorded.
Absolutely did
You
not
called
call
me a
you
beluga whale as I'm pregnant. You called me a beluga whale.
Hey, Allie, I just wanted to speak for 1 second, and then I'll let you speak as well. I did not call you a beluga whale. When I turned to look this way, there was a white image with a line down the middle, which happened to be your backside. I thought someone was sharing a photo of a beluga whale. I did not.
So you looked at an image of me. You looked at an image of me and thought it was in a beluga whale instead.
So when I saw
You got me and a beluga whale mixed up. Be for real. I'm gonna jump down before you make yourself look worse than you already are, Garrett.
Hey, Allie,
You're making yourself look real bad right now.
when I turned and saw that picture, the way it was set up looked like a beluga whale. I'm not the only one. There were
Okay.
multiple other people.
What about that screenshot of you mocking that picture? What about
Which
that?
one?
And your scrubs.
Oh, of me clenching my butt?
Yeah, mocking the exact same picture that was taken of me.
I was asked to twerk. I don't know what you're
Oh, so
talking
that's
about. I
what you
wasn't
were
mocking
doing.
anything.
Okay.
I heard that myself. I was watching that live. I heard that myself.
Yeah, I was not mocking anything whatsoever. You know, I'm not up here to talk bad about you.
Yeah, that's all you.
I was the one
Girlfriend.
that was constantly texting you, hey, how are you doing? I hope my girl's having a great day. Hope you're having a good day. You never responded unless it was about money, unless it was about your
That's not true. And yes, on Instagram, I will be showing those messages. Every single text message between you and I will be on Instagram because since you want to,
and there
because you want to lie on my name, because you want to lie on my name.
Allie, I'm not lying, but there you go. That is exactly what I'm talking about. when something doesn't go your way or you get mad, you go in defense mode and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this now. What's the point?
Yeah, I've kind of had to do that my entire childhood while I was getting
So then you
abused and
continue to
neglected. So
do that.
yeah,
So you continue to do that when you grow up and are doing that to every other person now.
You are 26 years old,
That's why there's
Allie.
a whole community of people that came to me and warned me, and then I went over to there to listen to what they had to say, and that's where I ended up. That's the only reason we're in the situation we're
well,
in
Garrett,
right now.
I'm really glad that you found a group of people you can finally sit with. I think you fit in really, really well with that group of people, and I'm glad that you
I
genuinely found
honestly
them.
am too. And again,
Yeah,
I
wholeheartedly.
have never wished one bad thing about you or that baby. I have said nothing but I want you and that baby to succeed. I have literally prayed for you. I've cried even on live when I was so frustrated. I've cried at night, not looking for sympathy. I'm telling you how badly it affected me. So
I understand. I can vouch for you on that myself, as your mother.
Yeah, and just so anybody out there listening can hear it from my own voice. I did nothing but try to help that girl from the day I met her until the day she her cars.
Three cars.
I mean, her biological father didn't help do that. I worked my butt whatever you want, and I don't really give a rat's butt about that. But because I don't spend my life on TikTok, and if anybody out there in the world wants to come to our place and look for themselves, you're going to see that Allie's full of it, and I don't understand why she's doing it.
Well, I think I think what she remembers is true to her in her brain, but it's not reality. It's not exactly how it happened. There's truth to it, but there's some omission also.
it's just the amount of people that have been hurt by you, Allie, is outstanding. And it's just continuing to happen.
Are
So
you
what's
aware that most people who claim to be hurt by me are people I have never spoken to, never met, never had a single conversation with? Are you aware of that?
well, are you aware of the amount of claims that people have with you? So you had to have had some type of interaction with them.
False.
Your mother, let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about my mother. No, I don't really care to talk about you if I'm being completely honest.
Alexa,
You have shown your true colors.
turn on the reading.
You have always been the one to victimize yourself, Mom, so continue doing so. I am pregnant. You will not be within any distance of my child. My child will not know that you exist in the slightest bit. I want you to know that, okay? You will have no part in your grandchild's life, and you made this bed. Now you get to sleep in it. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all have a great night.
So what was the bed? That's just what I'm curious about. I just wanted Allie to know how many people she's truly, genuinely hurt and is continuing to hurt. I did not mean for this to turn into a whether this happened or did not happen, because that's not what I'm here for. All I'm here for is to let Allie know that people know and hold her accountable for what has happened. That is it. And with you guys being on here,
Garrett.
do what now?
She's the victim.
We have no. This TikTok is entertainment, not life for us. It's just purely entertainment.
Right. It's entertainment. Yep.
We aren't trying to make a living out of it.
I'm really struggling with this right now. I'm really genuinely struggling with this. I really am. And I don't know if it's because I feel a little bit in me, I feel bad for her, because I could not imagine how it would be to have a child and be scared and all of these things. But on the other hand, I feel no sympathy because how many people she's hurting.
But you know what, Garrett? The thing that, for me as her mother, that's my grandchild. You know, that's a hard part for me because I'm a very big part of my grandchildren here. My grandchildren love us and come over and want to spend the night with us and all of those things. But yet,
But then you just heard her all of a sudden, and yes, I will be sharing the messages. That's just being vindictive for no reason.
exactly,
What's the
exactly.
reason?
Right, to hurt you or to embarrass you or to,
Jab.
you know, jab. Yeah, I mean, that's all it is.
Stick
There's
That
up
no
is
for
all
you.
I'm
reason other
trying to
than
do
to,
is spread awareness of things of that nature. That is it. So whatever
Well,
else happened up here tonight, the discussions that you guys had, that I'm sorry that we had to go into those conversations of SA, the themes of SA, abuse, anything of that nature. I'm sorry that everyone had to hear that, or if it triggered anyone, because again, any form of any type of abuse, whatever that may be, is not going to be condoned. It is not okay,
well,
and I will not
and I
have
can
any of that.
and I can tell you without a doubt that
doesn't like that. She asked.
it's amazing. And I really wish that, I know that the goal here was not the SA talk, but I really wish that I would just, that's the reason I don't want to bring anything up on live about it. But
And Allie
she doesn't see
also,
that.
she needs to be careful because using her followers as quote a weapon, because she did threaten that I need to be careful. Her followers will come after me. That is a form of a terroristic threat. So she does need to be careful of that. Again, I said if there's anything that will be something that can be held in a form of law, then I I can't fathom this to go on anymore. It's making me see cross-eyed, honestly.
Agreed. I get it.
Well, I'm sorry that that she's affecting you in that way. I've had to learn to be numb from it because it's happened for so many years that I'm more numb to it than ever these days.
Sharon, did you still want to come up here and say anything? I'm sorry. She did say she's seeing the recording of the live. She lied. Wait, what? Feel bad for her parents. Yeah, she is using her child to punish you.
I don't know. I don't really like coming up here by myself, to be honest.
Well, you're right here. I'm here.
Okay, I'm writing an alpaca right now. It's my code word.
Okay.
Um, but yeah. So basically, I don't even know what to say though. What
Yeah,
do
my job has been threatened nonstop.
Jay,
What
tell
are
your story. You need to tell them what she's done to you in the past week.
Okay, so I was in this Snapchat group probably almost 2 years ago, and all I did was hold a live about her, and I had a photo up of her. I haven't done anything to her personally. I've never had a conversation. I wasn't even a supporter of her to begin with. But someone was in that Snapchat group with her.
It's very vile and very intrusive to Shay. Those were protected pictures on a separate website that is locked.
And I know I shouldn't like defend myself and stuff, but I know I shouldn't have done that in the first place, but that shouldn't be a reason for you to beg someone to send my exposed body.
Do not even apologize for that.
Like it's not even the fact. I'm proud of the pictures, not gonna lie, like whatever. But the fact that she has them in her phone and is on live saying stuff like that, like
And how old were you when the photos were taken?
I was of age.
Okay.
It was 2 years ago. I'm 29, so I mean, I was a grown adult.
Is she threatening to use those pictures in some way?
She said,
Yeah.
"Be careful,"
Yeah.
which she didn't. That's technically, she's not gonna, and she was telling everyone to warn me or whatever to be careful of posting those. But you know that's bullshit. But she hasn't leaked them, as far as my knowledge is.
That's morally wrong.
Yeah.
So Allie
that's-
she is doing nothing but being vindictive and using anything she can to go jab at anyone that she can.
But why? That's what I
It's the
don't
way
understand.
that's
Why?
what we want to know. And you, as her mom, even wondering says a lot, you know.
Well, because of her essays. Come on. I mean, she's 26. I'm not through it or you don't, which obviously she's not. And I don't know. I'm just very, very disgusted by her behavior.
Sharon.
It's gotten really, really, really bad.
Hello.
I just don't understand why.
Right?
Yeah, it's like the fact that those are in her, and like she begged. She was like, "Please, please, please send them to me." Like, why would someone want that in the first place? Oh, please don't send that to me.
So who sent them to her?
Her mod Wolf,
Wow.
and they were from 2 years ago. Well, it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I'm not even in that group anymore. Haven't been in there in a long time. So I don't know if this person had them just saved on her phone, or she really had to like scroll to find these and put them at the hands of Allie.
Can I just say something
the
real
main
quick?
girl Wolf, like she has a lot to do with it, but now it's the fact that Allie, she sent them out to Allie, like.
So I just want to say that, like, people are saying in the comments, like, to say, like, not to get, like, for Allie to get over her essay. And I don't think, like, it's not, she doesn't, you can't ever get over that situation, but she needs to learn to cope with it the right way. And I feel like her hurting other people is in her brain coping with it, but she needs to figure out the exact, like, healthy way to deal
Yeah,
with it,
and like
you know?
she needs like therapy and honest help. Like, and that's not saying it in a mean way, like at all. That's just the truth. Like, if
And
she
thinking
can't
about
figure it out
going
on
to
her own, she's not going
the
to be able to,
suburbs
you know what I mean?
is
But the things I mean, saying about SA, I would not describe that as SA.
Can you guys hear me?
people have different,
No. Oh, now I
descriptions of
can.
that, and that's
It
Whole
gets a
I
little
agree.
messy.
conversation is disgusting, you guys. What are you doing? Like, why is this even being discussed on a freaking public platform? What kind of mother actually is
Good
asking
mother.
these kind of
A
no,
mother
this is
that's
not a good
defending
mother.
herself.
This mother right here, because what she's doing to her mother and everybody else on this app is horrible. What
Thank
kind of
you.
person comes up here and stands up for somebody that has been scamming for 2 years, bashing her mother, but she didn't bash her when she wanted money, did she?
Nope.
She's body shamed people. I've watched her when she didn't have half this following. A man was going to pay her rent. She started making fun of the way that he looked, showing text messages. I mean, who does that? Because you're SA'd? I was too, but I hold a job. That gives me no
Exactly.
excuse to come on here and do the things that this girl has done. It's disgusting. Anybody that stands up for her, anybody.
and
We've
then to come
all
in
got
here,
trauma in
to
life.
come in
I don't
here,
get
and
that.
then
We've all got trauma.
people coming in here trying to stand up for her, and then her coming in here and thinking that she did something by saying all of those things. That she's just trying to deter things. She's trying to bring
What
up
does that
something
have to do
else.
with not working
Exactly.
and begging for rent money with what went
Exactly.
on in your childhood? If that's the case, everybody should owe me a living.
And there you go.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she denied every single point talking about why she was begging.
I think it's a shame what she's done to her mom.
Yeah,
I
guys,
think it's horrible.
no
And for
more
anybody to
talking.
get up here after this woman has taken this and millions of people seeing her
No
being
more
bashed,
essay. Okay.
and she's never came in a box and she still didn't bash her. There's so much she could say, I'm
Oh,
sure.
there's so much.
But you know what? That shows you what kind of mother she is, because she's not saying, I'm sure, a lot of stuff that she could.
And
Amen.
I'm just gonna say that we don't drink, we don't smoke weed, we don't do
I don't know
drugs.
how you didn't do all that raising her. I really don't.
Oh,
I
Lord,
will say though, like I can tell Garrett that you're really hurt and you tried your best and there's not much more that you can do. You sat there and you explained to her, you have never talked bad about her, and still to this day, everybody in these boxes and most people in this chat can say you have not. So if she wants to threaten you with messages and she wants to threaten you with other things, she can, because we know how kind-hearted you are, and there's nothing that's going to prove you any different in those messages than you just trying to help her and be there for her.
Yeah. Thank you. It's a lot. Yeah.
What does that have to do with dragging up Jordan's father who passed away? Like, she wants to get up here and she wants to say that you called her a beached whale or whatever the hell it was.
Beluga whale.
Really? She really wants to bring up one thing? I don't body shame, but let me tell you, I would her, because when it did happen to her, she didn't like it. She didn't like it. And little Doo-Doo
I
over there
gotta put my
is a
goal
grown
box up.
woman scared of her. Doo-Doo over
Well, and
there is scared of her.
I didn't body shame her, but she did what she did or whatever. And then she was joking and laughing, talking about how she's going to put my noodles on a Christmas card in the background of her phone, and thought it was so hilarious that she had these pictures of me exposed. Like,
Well,
That's
maybe
Yeah,
just
she should get on OF and make some money that way instead of begging people. Maybe
and I
she's
have
ashamed
and
of her own damn
multiple.
body.
I'm not even doing OF, and I wasn't even like, that was a group from almost 2 years ago. Like the thing, like the amount of like digging people do is like
It's gross.
beyond
Yeah, I agree.
beyond
I
like
have multiple screenshots of people saying, let's go find where Garrett works. Let's go call his work. Oh, let's go find his number. Let's find his address. Oh, here's this. Here's this. For what? For what?
Because she scares people. That's why Doo over there
you're
is
covering your
backing
mic,
her up
Garrett.
because they're scared because they see what she's done. She pulls up people's family members. She calls people's jobs. She body shames. And
And
people
then,
were scared
and
to
then
go after her
Noodlehead.
because of that. She
Yeah,
intimidates. She don't intimidate me.
and then she has Noodlehead come in here and say, "You better be careful. I don't want to expose you." What are you gonna do, Noodle?
Wow.
I love how they just throw that word around like they actually have something, but they don't. The only thing is they're so upset that they've been exposed to the extent that they already have that they want to throw that word around, and it literally there's nothing behind it to back it up.
What about the SA? You were SA'd, but you practically had sex on live for your mother to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, and
God, yes.
no, oh, sorry, essay is making I understand, but it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about triggered? Oh, it triggers me. Trust
oh
in me,
yeah,
it triggers
yeah,
me. And
I
I
know
can tell
it
you
triggers
one thing,
you.
I wouldn't get on no live, regardless if that happened to me. I'd have more respect for my when she's a child to totally wipe out what the real deal is here, to take the attention off that she's a damn scammer on this app and
I
Hey,
expect
think
her
Garrett.
mom after dragging her mom, even ask her for money is nervy to me.
I
Garrett.
think that at the end, I think tonight, I've allowed everyone to speak on it and everything. I'm glad Allie got to get up here as well. I'm glad her mother got to speak. I think that further talking about this is really gonna do nothing. I really, again, I'll state, all I wanted was to let her mother speak about how she felt, what was going on, and then I wanted Allie to speak, and that happened. Unfortunately, some things were said that did end up triggering people. It triggered me as well, and I wanted to see if that would, pass, but it keeps getting brought up. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the live right now. I do appreciate all of you guys.